Hello friends, this is probably a dork, and today we are playing part 2 of Bad Summer. I am super excited. I've been really looking forward to playing this. I think I might try to play it a little longer than I did last time, just because we didn't really get far because I kept dying. Also I'm pretty sure that my continued save when I play is the game over sequence because I had stopped right before I had died because I made too many false choices or failed decisions when it came to trying to save the people calling the police. We're like a super undercover paranormal police, kind of. Was how I would put it lightly. I only say that because I can't remember the name of it, so I know I'm not exactly correct. But I'm gonna try my best to answer the questions as truthfully as I can, and the people who created the game kind of hinted that the demo actually has options to romance someone already. And the main character is technically a woman. I think we are just playing from the investigative perspective first, which I think is really cool. So yeah, I am very excited to get into it. Don't forget to like this video. I'm gonna try to keep that part of the intro a little bit quicker. So let's get right back into it. Okay, so this one is where I thought it would save exactly where I left off, but this one is the woman who killed her husband. I think I don't know if this was what made us fail or not. So I'm just gonna skip until you get to like make a choice and then I'll play. So yeah, that way we're all caught up and you're not getting repeat content. Also, if you haven't seen part 1, I would totally check that out. It gives some pretty big lore in the beginning. So yeah, let me pause and then get up to date. I'm gonna send the police right away.
Mum, I need you to remain where you are and keep the line open.
You're sending the police, aren't you? You have no idea what you've just done. You're supposed to help people. That's your job, isn't it?
My responsibility is to ensure the safety of all parties involved. Officers are en route.
Then their blood is on your hands. Fuck you.
Okay, never mind. Sorry. Alright. Look, gotta get all the endings. Anyway, that was new dialogue. It was new dialogue. And now we're up to speed. Okay. Oh boy.
Hello?
Hello? Are you the good guys?
Ah, this is a new one.
Yes, this is the good guys. How can I help you?
Mommy told me to hide, and she told me to call here because Daddy has a knife.
Where's your mum now? Can you put her on the phone?
She went downstairs and she didn't come back. Can you find her for me? Because I don't want to go downstairs. Mommy was screaming, but she stopped now. Are you on your way?
Did Daddy do anything strange? Did he look different?
No. He looks how he always looks. Really mad. Uh-oh. I think Daddy's coming upstairs.
Listen to me carefully, okay? Stay hidden, don't make a sound. Stay on the line. I'm tracking your location. I'll send somebody to help. You're going to be all right.
Oliver, this is not an abnormal occurrence. The ISWA cannot interfere.
Damn. But well, I guess he did say he looks like he always does, but you never know, that might still be able to be in paranormal if you really want to help the kid.
If you send our agents, there will be consequences.
Wow, okay. Well, considering how many times I have died, I feel like I can't really do that. The police would take ages to arrive, absolute fools. The cleaners, however, they are efficient. They'd make an appearance instantly. I should have saved. Oh, crap. Okay. Send police.
The good guys are on their way to you right now. Hold tight.
Huh.
I hear the good guys coming.
Stay on the line.
Bye-bye.
How do you know, though? Okay.
Hello?
Hey, is this the hotline for weird and unexplainable stuff?
I can't tell if this is going to be the guy with the girlfriend who has the dolls or not.
Yes, this is the ISWA helpline. How can I help you?
I love my
Yep, okay.
girlfriend, but
So,
I
I'll save,
think she hates me.
and I'll skip again, catch you guys up. So I just answered truthfully as I did, because I'm pretty sure that one I had succeeded with, and they hung up, so it was fine.
Hello?
Hello? Is this the Popo?
Okay. We also had him last time. I'm pretty sure I did respond correctly for him, and I did save him, so I will proceed to do that again, and then I will bring you guys back when we have new characters, new dialogue, because these ones, I'm pretty positive I answered truthfully. I think it doesn't matter how many truths you get. If you get a wrong, then you do die, I think. Or they let you have like 2 wrongs or something. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll be back. 1 second.
I call that a win.
I don't know if that was the same thing that happened last time or not.
The ISWA owes you a cookie. Probably oatmeal though, so don't get too excited.
Again, I love oatmeal, so okay, all right. I think can't remember if this happened or not, but I do remember saying I love oatmeal. So
Your shift is over, Oliver.
oh,
Your performance was acceptable, I suppose. But I was expecting better. You have much to learn, much to experience.
I'm honored. Are we not going to talk about the paranormal occurrence though, and also the dust in the air? Or is old man just the dust in the air? I don't know. That sounded horrible. Okay.
Finally, it's over.
Uh-oh. I sighed heavily, slouching into my office chair. Thank goodness it was over. For now. With the phone calls over and done with, I turned my attention to other matters. The Bear Ridge Ripper case. My #1 priority was finding the killer. Sleep could wait. Time was of the essence. The real work begins. Okay. Wow. Okay, I gotta save. Oh, no! I kind of wish I had the slow entrance, but that's okay, that's okay. The summer of 1999 was the hottest I ever experienced. The muted glow of dawn shed but a feeble light over the misty woods. Ah. The wide, tree-lined street was eerily empty at such an hour. The entire world was fast asleep, and here I was at the first light of day, alone at a deserted bus stop. It was lonely here. Uncomfortably quiet. I couldn't shake this irrational feeling that some hungry predator was going to jump from the darkness and take a chunk out of me. Not like I could run far in a dress like this. Huh. The weak flickering light overhead only added to my jitters. There was something about this neck of the woods that freaked me out. Part of me was itching to pack up and head home. Applying for this job was a stupid idea. I was out of my element, out of my comfort zone, and in over my head. My knowledge of the countryside and outdoor living was zero. Stupid me, trying to get away from my parents, that I threw myself into a worse situation, working at a summer camp in the middle of absolute nowhere. Cute. Bear Ridge Summer Camp. Your next adventure starts here. It seemed like a nice way to disconnect from the stress of the modern world and reconnect with nature. An escape from reality, from life at home, at least for a little while. A cool breeze blowing through my hair, my fingers strummed over my acoustic guitar, just something to fill the silence. Anything to fill the silence. Our cat! A cat in the wilds of Bear Ridge Mountains? And at the bus stop, of all places? What on earth was it doing here? A hint of mystery surrounded the four-legged creature. It looks like its name is Moon. Aw, Moon! After some time of admiring the cat from a safe distance, I was feeling more than a little restless. What was taking the bus so long? Was it normal for it to run late? Concerned, I rooted through my dress pockets for a cell phone and dialed my boss's number. I wasn't too far from camp. Maybe he could drive out and pick me up? He answered on the second ring, thankfully.
What do you want?
Oh, he sounds pleasant. I paused, surprised at how irritable he sounded. He was a lot nicer during the interview. Hey, the bus is late, and I've been waiting here for close to an hour now.
Why is the fact you're stranded my problem?
Well, I was hoping you could, pick me up, if it's not too much trouble. Being out by myself makes me really nervous. I'm not really used to the woods, and...
Too damn bad.
Did he just hang up on me? My stomach dropped to my toes. Wow, what a jerk. I shivered, the morning chill seeping through my dress. Another shiver wrecked my body, this one less from the cold and more from frustration. This sucked. Waiting for a bus that may never come, dealing with the boss who treated me like an afterthought. Was it worth it? All this for a minimum wage check and some time away from home? Huh. I did save, but I do want to get all the routes, so we're just gonna go home. I packed up my guitar and turned away from the bus stop, leaving with my dignity intact. Maybe I'll work retail, less bugs. And who knows, maybe customer service isn't as bad as everyone claims. She's lying, it is. There's always next year. Heck yeah. Ending 1 of 2. Not 2 weeks notice. Or no 2 weeks notice. This is funny. Okay, cool. Did he just hang up on me? My stomach dropped into my toes. Wow, what a jerk. Amazing. We'll stay. Headlights pierced the mist. The large, weathered wheels of a bus squeaked along the bumpy road. Finally. The clunky gas guzzler has arrived. A one-way trip to the mountains of Bear Ridge. The bus squealed into the stop before me. The folding doors opened to the smiling face of the driver, an old bald man missing a few teeth. Packing my guitar back into its case, I forced a smile, then hurried up the short set of stairs with my luggage. Amazing. Oh, cute! Gazing down the narrow aisle of divided seats, I locked eyes with 4 attractive strangers. All of them looked around my age. Damn. Oh, stonks. Okay. I gotta save. There is only one reason a group of teenagers would be huddled on a bus at such an ungodly hour, venturing deep into the remote wilderness of upstate New Empress. My coworkers, 2 boys, 2 girls, embarking on this crazy, bumpy ride alongside me. It was oddly comforting knowing I wouldn't have to suffer alone for the rest of the trip. The bus doors closed and the driver stepped on the gas. No turning back now. Who should I sit next to? Oh my god. Ooh, okay. The survivalist. Personality, leader, nature-loving, strict. Skills, outdoors, expertise. Ooh, okay. Flaw, domineering. She seems... I can't even say she seems too much like me because I love her too. The intuitive. Personality, spontaneous, fun, adaptable. Skills, perspective, lucky. Flaw, indirect. Damn, this is hard. This is hard. This is hard. The lost soul. Personality, grumpy, sensitive, brooding. Skills, strength, brawling, and flaw, combative. The rebel. Personality, passionate, rash, outgoing. Skills, art expression. Flaw, decision-making. Interesting. This is hard because I have to pick a different character when I play the full version of the game, which is fair. But like, I want to pick my favorite one now, but I can't because I have to play with, like, oh my god, that was gonna sound horrible. I want to play the full version of the game with the character I choose. And I think that I will be choosing her because why not? I love all of them though, but she definitely has my heart. So I'm going with her for now. Are you sure? I am sure. My eyes did a full sweep of the bus and its nope, there's no M. Occupants. That, please ignore me. My eyes did a full sweep of the bus and its occupants before snapping back to the blonde-haired goddess in the front row. Damn! I wanted to say it was rhythmic. Pop, pop, pop of her gum that stole my attention, or the fact that she was the only one standing, chin in hand, seemingly bored out of her mind. But that would be a half-truth. I was mesmerized by her. Her bright and shiny presence was a stark contrast to the muted tones of the bus. She blew a bubble, a vibrant pink sphere that shimmered in the glow under the overhead lights before bursting with a soft pop. My initial search for a seat was long forgotten as I watched on. She was a spectacle, and I was her captive audience.
Are you taking a seat? Or do you plan to stand the whole trip?
Well, at the sound of the blonde's southern drawl, I broke from my trance. Heat crawled up my neck as our eyes locked. I didn't mean to stare at her like a freak. I expected outrage from her, but instead her bright blue eyes sparkled and her lips upturned into a smile.
No.
Of course not. Face hot, I averted my gaze, desperately wishing for the floor to swallow me whole. I mumbled a quick apology under my breath and hurried down the aisle. Thankfully, there was an empty seat near the back to offer me solace. I lunged in for it. However, before I could reach the safe haven of an empty seat, the bus lurched forward. I stumbled. For a heart-stopping moment, I lost my balance. Please, don't let me embarrass myself further. Tethering on the edge of disaster, I threw out my arms, flailing them like a startled baby chick trying to fly. Unfortunately for me, gravity was not my friend. I fell to the bus floor with a heavy thud.
Shoot.
My cheeks burned hot, and a lump formed in my throat. The silence on the bus was deafening. I could feel all eyes on me, burning my flesh as they stared down at me like the clumsy loser I was. I couldn't dare look up. My eyes focused on the floorboards beneath me. Maybe if I stay here, no one will notice. Then a soft chuckle broke through the silence. I looked up to find the beautiful blonde before me, concern etched into her gaze. She knelt beside me, her hand extended. Hey, are you okay? Besides my pride, I didn't appear to be injured. Here, let me help you up. Of course, take her hand. Her voice was warm and inviting like honey. I took her outreached hand gratefully. Thanks. My cheeks blazed hot.
Oh.
Don't worry, happens to the best of us. She smiled at me, her blue eyes glinted with something I couldn't quite decipher. A shiver traveled down my spine. I expected her to release my hand after assisting me, but to my surprise, she held on firmly. She guided me to an unoccupied seat, our fingers intertwined. The lingering warmth of her touch sent a tingle up my arm. I missed it when she finally let go. I scooted to the window seat and set my luggage down at my feet. My guitar slugged across my lap. I stumbled down the bus cushions, trying to disappear. I slumped down in the bus cushions, trying to disappear. My chest tightened. Not a good first impression for my coworkers. They must think I'm a loser. I had every intention of sitting in silence, glaring out the window and feeling sorry for myself until I reached my destination, when I felt the seat shift beside me. It was her, the blonde-haired beauty. She flipped her long tresses over her shoulder and grinned. Her jaw worked the gum in her mouth with a methodical rhythm. Summer. I stared at her, confused and slightly taken aback. Sorry, what? My name's Summer. She repeated and chuckled, with my face finally lit up with understanding. She was introducing herself. P.S. guys, I suck at reading. If you've been here for a minute, you know this, but I'm trying my best. Also, she seems dramatic, so I'm just giving her that, theater kid spice. I was not one, by the way. You probably think otherwise. I swear I was not. So yeah.
I'm Jenny.
Amazing. I thought you were commenting on the weather, it being sunny and all. Oh god. My response caught Summer off guard. She frowned slightly.
You thought I'd just walk up to strangers on buses to give weather updates?
Damn. I blushed, mortified. Well, when you put it like that, it does sound silly. I don't mind. I like silly. The conversation lulled to a stop. I wanted to talk to her, say something funny or interesting to keep her attention, but I wasn't funny. Or interesting. My gaze moved to the window, staring vacantly out of it. My thoughts were jumbled and scattered by the girl sitting beside me. She smelled like strawberries. Bold, say something. Uncertain, say nothing. Bold. So, summer like the season?
Don't think so.
Before you make any weather-related comments, let me stop you now. I've heard them all. I gaped at her, not expecting such a sharp response. I didn't mean to cause offense. I'm sorry. If I hear another person compare me to the sun, I think I might actually scream. Look at my resting bitch face. Do I look like the embodiment of a warm summer day? Well, summer storms are a thing. Her shoulders visibly relaxed, a smirk played at the corner of her full pink lips. True. And hurricanes are pretty common this time of year. This earned me a genuine laugh from her. Is this your subtle way of calling me destructive? I didn't know Summer long enough to make that assumption, but what I was quickly learning was that she was a force. One didn't meet a girl like Summer and not be left unaffected in her wake. I shrugged, a grin stealing across my face. Not destructive, more like powerful. I think I like you. Oh my god, well, I like you, Summer. With expert ease, she blew a series of small, delicate bubbles, each popping softly before the next began. I watched on, fascinated. So, what's the deal with the guitar? You planning on searching the campers? Or serenading the campers? Guys, if I could read, that would make this video so much better. Her words broke me from my trance, and my eyes trailed down to the guitar in my lap. I almost forgot I had it with me. My cheeks flushed with warmth. Oh, I don't sing. I just like to play sometimes.
Good.
Ah, maybe you can play something for the kids around the campfire. They'll love that. I think I'd love that too. A small smile touched my lips. It would be nice to have an audience, even if that said audience consisted of mostly 8 and 9-year-olds. Have to start somewhere, I suppose. And if you have some free time in your own schedule, perhaps you can play a tune for me? It grew quiet as Summer awaited my answer. Even the sound of her gums snapping ceased. All that remained was the hum of the bus's engine. She reached out, running a single pink manicured finger along the rim of my guitar case, her brow furrowed. Unconsciously, I mirrored the action, my finger tracing along the worn material of my case. Our fingers suddenly collided. A jolt of electricity went through me. An unspoken awareness hung in the air. My heart pounded in a frantic beat in my chest. What should I do? Huh. Self-doubt? Oh my goodness. No. Intimate. Okay. Time seemed to stand still as our eyes met. Did she feel it too? A blush crept up my neck, and a pretty pink blush bloomed across Summer's delicate cheeks. Instead of pulling away, our fingers intertwined. The bus rolled into a halt at the next bus stop. The double doors opened, and an older, scraggly man boarded. Oh, good. He was graceless as he limped through the aisle with what I presumed to be a bad leg. Tall, with a full head of unkempt gray hair, beady black eyes, and baggy, dirt-stained clothes, he looked like a homeless man down on his luck. It was a small miracle he could even afford a bus ticket with the way he carried himself. His features were weathered, his nose crooked as if it had been broken at some point. The poor guy seemed sickly, barely holding on by a thread. His clothes carried a terrible odor. The stench intensified the further he moved into the bus. The driver didn't seem to mind. I kept my head down as he passed by, fighting the urge to cover my nose. There was no need to be rude. Hopefully the man's misfortune turned around for the better soon. Ah, you. I locked eyes with the homeless man's pale, haggard gaze. He hovered over my seat, glaring into the very depths of my soul. I went stiff. A sudden, inexplicable chill swept over me, sending goosebumps racing over my skin.
You're making a mistake.
I know a fine woman when I see one, sir. I reached for for the sleeve of Summer's shirt. She whispered under her breath,
Whatever.
"Pretend he's not here."
Turn back before it's too late.
He grinned manically, spite flying around his wrinkled mouth. His eyes were wide and crazed. He moved a hand to the inner pocket of his coat. I gasped at the glint of something silver in his pocket. Was that a knife? Sorry, I didn't know that this was one of those. Is this what I do? I think. I don't really... In a sudden change of heart, the bum withdrew the knife. Thank God. I let out a heavy breath. I didn't realize I was holding. I yelped. A disgusting glob of spit hit my chest. Ew, ew, ew! Laughing manically, the bum ran off through the back door and disappeared into the woods. Amazing. My flesh crawled. The urge to buckle over and vomit was near irresistible. It was a violation, a physical assault that left me reeling. A fire ignited in my chest. I wanted to lash out, to scream, to throw a tantrum. But a cold, rational voice warned me against it. Instead, I wiped the spittle away in feeble attempt to restore my dignity. A slender hand reached out, firm yet hesitant, holding tissues just inches from my stained dress. I looked up and met Summer's gaze, a quiet anger simmering there, not at me, but at the situation. "Oh goodness, are you okay?" I mustered the strength to speak, barely. I'm okay, given the circumstances." "No, the heck you aren't. Let me help you. We can't let that cruel old man win." Gently, she dabbed the stain at my dress, wiping the gross snot away. Her fingers brushed against mine, lingering just long enough to remind me I wasn't alone in this, that someone saw what I'd been through and cared enough to stand by me. "There you go, all clean." The tension in the air dispersed. My shoulders relaxed. My muscles ached with strain. I didn't realize how tense I'd been gripped by that haunting stare. The madman's warning echoed through my mind. Was he talking about Summer? Was he telling me not to trust her? Undoubtedly, it was ramblings of a lunatic and nothing more. Though the ominous words and threats left a mark in my soul and queasiness in my gut. "Are you okay? You're looking a little green." I nodded, unable to find the strength to speak just yet. Summer searched my eyes and then nodded. And then my mouse proceeded to die. This tends to happen every time, to be fair. Okay. To be fair, I do kind of, I mean, I don't get how she's feeling. But like not directly. But I did try to record this video once already. And I did not get as far as the bus. I didn't even see the start of the story. I just saw the detective. But there was a spider on my microphone, and then I looked up and there were a bunch of baby spiders everywhere. Literally everywhere. It was the most horrifying thing in the world, and I know that sounds a little dramatic. But this video is clearly dramatic, so I don't really care. But they were just all over the place, and like, oh, my skin started crawling. So I can only imagine having someone spit on you. I've worked in the medical field for a while, but I have yet to have someone spit at me, and I'm very thankful for that. So, yes. She patted my knee 1, 2, 3 times before drawing her hand back. My skin burned from her touch. That guy was weird, huh? More like crazy. Do you think he's a threat? No. No, how could she be so nonchalant? But he had a weapon. Summer shrugged and flipped her blonde tresses over her shoulder. I'm a first-degree black belt in karate and a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. I can take down a crazy bum easily. That's impressive. She grinned at me and nodded, blowing a large pink bubble before letting it pop. A lot of people take one look at me and think I'm an easy prey, but I'm the stuff made of nightmares.
I eat my enemies alive.
Anyone who thinks they can cross me will be sorely mistaken. I eat my enemies alive. Piece by bloody piece. Amazing. I definitely know that she's not going to be eating me piece by piece. I do like the movie feeling, you know? It is really cool. Ooh, this is cute. Okay, okay. A little animation moment. Wow. This is so pretty. So pretty. Ooh. Oh my gosh. I'm like seething with excitement. Okay. So we all know that I'm going to be playing every single character.
Your shift was over hours ago. Go home. Rest. There is always tomorrow.
Okay, that is also so cool.
Rest? Someone is behind these brutal murders, and I'll uncover the truth, even if it kills me.
Dun dun dun! Day 2, Oliver's office, 6:25 a.m. I didn't realize we were getting a day 2. The stale air of my office hung heavy, thick with the scent of old paper and the ghost of 1,000 unanswered questions. Files overflowed from every surface, a chaotic landscape of witness statements, manila folders, and dead-end leads. The Bear Ridge Ripper. The name itself was a brand seared into my mind. A constant, burning reminder of my own inadequacy, my inability to crack this case, to piece it all together. I ran a hand through my already disheveled hair, the rough paper of a transcript grating against my skin. Another interview, another victim's family member, their grief, a palatable weight that settled in my chest. I listened to so many of these recordings, each one a variation of the same horrifying theme. The Ripper's brutality, the inexplicable nature of the attacks, the lack of any discernible pattern. What am I missing? What doesn't any of it make sense? Or why doesn't any of it make sense? The files mocked me, each one a testament to my limitations. I, Oliver Smith, the man who prided himself in his ability to solve the unsolvable, was staring into an abyss. And the abyss was staring back. I reached for the bottle of scotch in my bottom drawer, the amber liquid, a temporary solace. One sip, then another. It dulled at the edges of frustration, the gnawing sense of failure. It didn't provide any answers. It never did. As much as I wanted to, I couldn't drown my own despair. I had to keep digging, keep searching. The victims deserved justice. Their families deserved closure. And I needed to know. I needed to understand. Even the truth shattered everything I thought I knew. There it was again, watching, waiting, whispering obscenities. I felt its menacing presence all around me. Shadows clawed relentlessly at the corners of my weary mind. Another PA announcement blurted from the speaker. Don't look. Pretend it wasn't there. No sudden movements. Don't run. Don't speak. Do not approach. But deep down, there was a gnawing curiosity, a dark urge to stare into the abyss, to experience and indulge in all the horrible depravity it had to offer. Who was it that gazed so intently from the abyss? Why did it have such a fascination with the likes of me, a simple mortal with a mundane desk job? Was I special? Or could this all be some sick illusion? Look away. Reason screamed in protest, every instinct urging self-preservation. In a vain attempt at normalcy, I turned my attention to the files scattered across my desk. The heat of the creature's stare pierced my soul. How much longer could I keep up this foolish game of pretend? It was there, demanding attention, demanding to be seen. Giving in to the urge, I locked eyes with the shadowy intruder by the door. The moment our gaze met, it was as if a switch had been flipped. The office was tossed into the void, the files and photos fading into meaningless blurs. I was no longer in control. I was pulled, dragged into the creature's penetrating crimson gaze, held captive by an unseen force. A strange energy coursed through my veins, a sensation both terrifying and intoxicating. My heart pounded in my chest, a frantic drumbeat against the silence of my mind. I couldn't look away. I couldn't. Then, a burning sensation erupted behind my eyes, a searing, agonizing pain that intensified with every passing second. I tried to scream, but no sound escaped my lips. Resist. No. Death would not take me yet. In a desperate effort to regain control, I shuddered, every fiber of my being fighting against the sudden paralysis that gripped me. The creature's eyes narrowed in challenge. It was a battle of will, a competition of mental fortitude. In that moment, my purpose had never been more clear. W is my purpose. I think I'm doing it right, but I can never tell, so yeah. Just spamming W, apparently. Hopefully. It had burrowed itself so deep in my mind that I thought for a fleeting moment about letting go. Okay. The creature's psychotic grip on me was much too strong. That's what we missed. Would it be such a bad thing to let it win? Yes, to finally be free of it all. Shadowy tendrils reached out to me, gnarled and grotesquely shaped. I expected pain to follow soon after, to be snatched away and disappear like the others. Instead, the cold touch of gentle fingers brushed my cheek. Bitterly cold, but harmless. The bewitching grasp on me faded. My control returned to me. I didn't know how or why. I didn't stick around to ask. Freed from the terrifying trance, I pushed myself to my feet and vaulted over the desk, fleeing for dear life. The obscene whispers grew louder, shadows swirling at my heels. It was chasing me. I didn't look back. Also, I really hope you guys can't hear my stomach rumbling. I barreled through the staircase exit at the end of the hall and arrived somewhere else. Somewhere unfamiliar. Cat! Knife cat! Oh my god. Fluorescent lights flickered overhead, casting long, unsettling shadows across the endless expanse of concrete floor. The air was thick with a musty, almost nauseating odor, a strange mix of dust and something vaguely metallic. There were no windows, only the monotonous hum of the lights and the occasional unsettling creak from the walls. It was a labyrinth of identical hallways and doors. A maze. A place between places that felt very wrong. Impossible. I tried to turn back, but the door wouldn't budge. Great. I was trapped in here. At least I was alone. No shadow abominations chasing after me. I wasn't sure which was more unsettling, the isolation or the threat of monsters lurking just beyond the door behind me. I must press forward.
Bloody hell.
Day 1, hiking trail, 12:01 p.m. I gotta blow out my candle. Whew. Oh boy. Good thing I don't have a smoke detector in here because my god, it is... I blew it out, but wow, it's smoking. Whew. Sorry. We finally arrived. The double doors of the bus slid open, revealing the golden light of a warm summer afternoon. My bulky pack and guitar strapped to my shoulders, I rushed through the aisle toward the exit, eager to feel the pleasant open air on my skin. I didn't realize how much I missed the outside world until my feet landed in the dewy grass. The earthy scent of the woods carried in the breeze, the surrounding trees tall enough to brush the sky. Birds called and squirrels chattered, bright berry bushes and thick brambles lined the lonely road. I smiled. The ticking tap of a woodpecker above captured my attention. It was pretty here, and not nearly as foreboding with my coworkers nearby. I liked it here. Maybe Camp Bear Ridge wasn't as bad as I originally thought. It just took some getting used to. I stood at the edge of the rock-strewn road, admiring the scenery and sunny tranquility of the forest. I barely registered my coworkers, completely absorbed in the sights and sounds around me. The forest was alive, vibrant and teeming with a kind of energy I'd never experienced in the city. It was a far cry from the concrete jungle I was used to, with its constant noise and suffocating crowds. Here, I could finally breathe. Summer whipped out her phone and started calling Mr. Matthews over and over again. With each failed attempt, her grip on the phone tightened. Her sighs got shorter, sharper, until they weren't sighs at all, just angry bursts of breath. By the fifth call, she was practically stabbing the screen with her finger. I feared if Mr. Matthews didn't answer quick, Summer was going to snap. Seriously? Why isn't he answering? He always answers. Maybe he's busy? He can't be that busy. Summer tapped her foot with an increasing impatience, her eyes scanning the trail as if willing him to appear. Tardiness seemed to be a serious offense in her book, one I vowed then and there to never commit. That's not me. Comfort hug. I'm definitely going to try to comfort her. I watched as she stabbed her phone again, shoulders tight, eyes stretched taut at the corners. I didn't think about it. I just moved, slipping my arms around her and pulling her close. She tensed at first, her body stiff as a board, but I didn't let go. I couldn't. She was spiraling and she needed an anchor. I was willing to be that for her, and whatever else she needed me to be at that moment. Hey. I leaned in, whispering in her ear. Breathe. You're not alone, okay? Little by little, she melted against me, her foam lowering, her huffs softening into slow, even breaths. And I just held her there, steady, until the storm gathering in her blue irises calmed and settled. I needed that. I needed that bad. My cheeks burned at her intense stare.
Oh.
Thank you, Jenny. Her voice was soft, sincere. I loosened my arms around her, suddenly aware of how close we were, and took a step back. I can't believe I just did that. I cleared my throat, staring down at my sneakers just to avoid the weight of her gaze. Do you need anything? A rough exhale escaped her lips before I could stop myself. My eyes snapped back up to her face, to her eyes. No. She shook her head once, sharp and focused, and squared her shoulders. I just need to get my head in the game. She said this more to herself than me. Her eyes flickered to the group of teens near the bus stop, our coworkers. They're looking for answers, and I can't afford to fall apart. She tightened her grip on her phone, her jaw set. I need to act like someone who knows what the hell they're doing. Summer let out a loud, exaggerated sigh. She spun on a heel and faced us boldly, tossing her perfect hair over her shoulders. Okay, people. Since Ian is late, I'm going to take matters into my own hands. It's time for introductions.
Hi, I'm Summer.
The head counselor. Very cool. In other words, your boss. An awkward silence filled the air. A mocking snort followed soon after, probably from one of the boys behind me. Summer ignored it. After a long moment of uncomfortable quiet, she spoke up to introduce myself. I spoke up to introduce myself.
I'm Jenny.
Hey.
Oh, she's so cute. I'm Candace, but everyone calls me Candy.
I'm Jake.
Sup, I'm Jake. This is all so cute. I ship those two hard. But they could be straight and that's fine for them. Before the last guy got a chance to speak, Candy stepped forward, her voice booming. He is Antonio.
I'm Andre.
It's Andre, not Antonio. Candy visibly deflated, shrinking back into her original spot. Awkward. Summer cleared her throat, glancing at her phone. I have no service. I can't get in contact with Ian. He's never late like this. This is so weird. I called him earlier and he answered, but it didn't seem like he wanted to be bothered. He hung up on me. He was really rude about it, too. Summer pressed her lips into a fine line, her arms crossed over her chest. Well, that doesn't sound like Ian at all. He's nice to everybody. Don't got a single rude bone in his body. Isn't Mr. Matthews too old for you? Summer's brows shot up. Excuse me? You talk about him like you're, you know. A weary smile pulled at the corner of Jake's lips, his gaze sparkling with amusement. Summer scoffed. A vein ticked in her forehead. Oh boy. Like I'm what? Use your words. Oh, you know. Does she? Nope, she doesn't, and nor does she care. So why don't you do us all a favor and shut the hell up? Acting like he didn't hear a thing, Jake continued on. Oh, she definitely knows. But don't worry, princess. Your secrets are safe with me. Scout's honor. Jake winked, and with a lopsided grin, he performed a mock salute. Oh boy. Summer rolled her eyes and took a slow, deliberate breath. Candy leaned in slightly, her tone dropping to a whisper. I'm getting a strong reading. There's a smackdown in his future.
Whatever.
For one, I highly doubt you were a Boy Scout, and two, call me Princess again, and I'll kick your teeth in. Are we clear, Princess? Never been called Princess before. I think I like it. You would. Now, answer the question. Are we clear? Crystal. He laughed and gave a mock bow, twirling his marker as he did so. Oh, don't mind me. No one ever does. I never know what I'm talking about anyway. His grin was easy, filled with boyish charm, but the glint in his eye hinted at something deeper, darker. It almost felt sad, his words. Don't mind me, no one ever does. Candy grinned, entertained by the strange conversation. Wow, this is getting juicy. Is it? Andre scratches at his jaw, his brow furrowed. He looked hopelessly confused. Another awkward silence swept over the group. Summer cleared her throat and waved a dismissive hand in Jake's direction. Anyway, as head counselor and the second in command, I say we keep our butts right here and wait for Ian to show up. Why? Can't we just hike to camp from here?
So.
It's too long of a walk, especially in this heat. What if one of you passes out from heat stroke? I'm not taking responsibility for that.
Nah.
I'm not staying here. What? Oh, no, you don't, mister. Andre turned, taking off for the hiking trail without looking back. His confident stride swayed most of the group in an instant. Hey, wait up! I'm coming too! Candy and Jake rushed off after him. I passed Summer a sheepish smile and followed behind them. What? You're supposed to stay with Summer. It was always best to stick with the group, right? Darn it. Fine, wait for me. You don't know where you're going. Summer kept pace with us, refusing to be left behind. Somebody has to keep watch after y'all. The afternoon sun beat down through the canopy, dappling the hiking trail in shifting patterns of light and shadow. About 10 minutes into the hike, my steps started to drag, and before I knew it, my coworkers had left me in the dust. They were further up the path, their voices echoing faintly through the trees. I lagged behind, utterly drained. Sweat plastered my dress to my back, a testament to the grueling trek with my pack and guitar. Each step on the uneven terrain was a victory against sheer exhaustion. Maybe Summer had a point about the heat strokes. My head was pounding. A wave of dizziness washed over me. I could only imagine how much worse it could get if I didn't stop soon. Eventually, the fatigue went out. I veered off the trail and dropped onto a mossy, fallen log. Stillness crept in, and my eyes slipped shut, desperate for the spinning to stop. I love hiking, but I also am not fit, so I do have to sit down as well sometimes. It just, it's good to take a rest and look at the beauty around you. When I opened them again, my coworkers were gone. The trail ahead was empty. Barren. All that remained were faded footsteps in the dirt. A knot of panic tightened in my stomach. Where did they go? I only stopped for a few moments. They left me. How could they leave me? My breath hitched in my throat. I stood up, heart pounding, half expecting them to all jump out and yell, "Surprise!" But the woods remained silent, the only sound rustling of leaves in the hot wind. Guys? Hello? I called out to them, my voice echoing hauntingly. No reply. They were gone. Spooked by the unsettling silence, I pressed forward along the path, searching frantically for any familiar faces. Up ahead was a steep hill, and at the base, a signpost. I thrust my head forward, struggling to make out the words. Caution. Beware of bears. Uh-oh. You may be subject to dangerous encounters or possible attacks. Hike at your own risk. A cold knot formed in my stomach. A bear? Here? It is the wild. The sound of footsteps crunching over the dirt sent a shiver up my spine. I jumped, startled by the noise. It's our girlfriend for sure. But nothing was there. The woods went silent, deathly still. Clouds choked the sun from the sky, plunging darkness over the earth. A living shadow darted past me, unnaturally swift. My breath caught in my throat. It's fine, we're fine. I wasn't alone. I stopped mid-stride, my gaze searching desperately for any signs of life. I spotted a dark, beaten path just off the hiking trail. Something about it seemed off. Gnarled and twisted branches jutted out of the dirt like knives, a warning not to enter. A lashing wind sifted through the trees. The brushes rumbled and shook. I couldn't tell if it was just the wind or if someone or something was moving nearby. Curious? It could be our girlfriend. I swallowed my fear and wandered down the suspicious path. Carefully maneuvering around the spiked branches, I realized how stupid of an idea this was once the hiking trail disappeared behind me. I had a strong sense of direction, but the woods are a maze of dirt and trees. Finding my way back won't be easy. A hideous stench assaulted my nostrils, like rot and death. Putrid enough to make me freeze in place and think twice about continuing onward. Should I keep going? We'll keep going, because I do want to kind of get as much as I can. I came this far. I have to see it through. Pressing a palm to my nose, I repelled the horrid smell. I pressed on. Then I saw it. The source of the stench. The remains of a gutted deer. Intestines leaked from the corpse in a disgusting tangle. Flies and maggots feasting on the battered corpse, the surrounding grass stained bloody red. The butchery was indescribable. The limbs of the poor animal severed from the body. What could have done this? Was it the bear? Utterly repulsed, my stomach churning, I turned on a heel and ran away as fast as I could. Oh. The deer looked like it was trying to get back up, so that can't be good. Adrenaline spiked through my veins. I pushed through the burning of my lungs and soreness in my muscles, my luggage almost weightless as I scrambled away. A break in the trees up ahead. A river. Water crashed and frothed below a wooden footbridge. The first hurried step on the planks seemed sturdy. The second step less so. The third step was dangerously wobbly. The fourth plank gave out completely, snapping in two and falling into the depths. I stumbled, my foot caught in the gap. I couldn't move, captured as ensnared like a rat in a trap. No! My heartbeat raced. My breath bursted in and out. I couldn't swim, and even if I could, the current was too strong. Thoughts of being washed away by a river, drowning, consumed by nature's cruel tide, flashed through my mind. I can't die here. Free yourself, panic. Free myself? I swallowed my fear. I buried it down into the depths of my stomach and locked it away. Then I twisted round, grabbed my ankle, and pulled the hardest I could. Oh boy. My foot remained trapped as the bridge finally gave way. I plummeted into the rushing water, the world of chaos, churning currents and splintered wood. Just as I thought I was done for, strong hands grabbed me, hauling me back onto the bank. It was summer, dragging me back to the solid land. Day 2, office hallway. Amazing. I thought this was over, but it's not, so thank God for summer. The darkness pressed in and swallowed me. I couldn't see a thing. Oh! Thank goodness. The lights are back on. Interesting. Christ spoke too soon. I drew my flashlight from my belt. Just what I needed. Much better. I need to find a way out of this godforsaken place. I do like the back and forth. That's really cool. But I really thought it was over when it showed the credits and stuff. But that was like just an introduction, which was sick. I liked that a lot, actually. It's like beautiful. I did not expect animation, so I really like the thought in this a lot. This is not an anomaly. This door is normal. Your regular standard door, nothing special about it. Promise. Okay. This is an anomaly. It looks similar to the normal door, but there is key differences. The eyes behind it are glowing. The door is open. It should be closed. How to fix an anomaly. See something off? Left click and hold your mouse on the anomaly until it's gone. But be careful. If something is not an anomaly, best leave it alone, or you may regret it. Interesting. Okay. That's not really good. Okay, that is an anomaly for sure. Yeah, you are definitely. I like this. This is interesting. Like the gameplay is really enjoyable. I don't know. Those cats are normal. That's the exit. This chair I don't feel like was here. Yeah, okay. Well, it was, but not broken at least. Okay. But this is fun. This is very fun. I really do like it so far. I'm a bit embarrassed by my reading skills. But other than that, I do really enjoy the game. I'm glad it didn't end because I'm really enjoying this. And I'm a little sad I'm gonna have to wait to keep playing it, but I guess that's fine. Are you sure you want to take the elevator? You may have missed something on this floor. If you moved on too soon, there will be consequences. No, stay and check again. Oh. Interesting. I'm hearing whispering, and I feel like that isn't normal. But maybe the whispering was the plant? Those are normal. Can I go that way? No. Okay, I think now I solved everything. But totally creative when it comes to gameplay. I was wondering if it was going to be like puzzles or just dialogue. You're an anomaly. 4th floor. Okay, that's normal. That's not normal. But then again, this is a whole new floor, so how would we know? For sure. Oh, paintings. That one switched. That does not belong there. I hope you guys are enjoying this. And I hope you don't mind how cringy I am, but to be fair, I do warn you. My name is probably a dork. I try to be as transparent as possible. So if you got secondhand embarrassment or cringe, I've been there, done that. And let me know in the comments. I'll have a little laugh. We can together, you know? It's good not to take things too seriously. Especially when you could be having fun, so. Hopefully this will get me better at reading, though, the more games I play. So maybe a year from now I'll be the best public speaker ever. This one's always broken. That door's not open, though. And there's no... Okay, spoke too soon. I was like, and there's no zombie on the floor? Nope. There it is. Amazing. But yeah, I did not vibe with all the baby spiders earlier. That was horrifying. That I think is pretty normal because that's the right color. The third floor. There needs to be a painting here. Huh. Why is there whispering? There does not seem to be anything else. Is the chair the right color? Yeah, okay. That is the right color, I'm pretty sure. So, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty confident. Hopefully I'm right. Let me know in the comments below if my dramatic reading is also annoying. I will stop if it helps you guys watch for longer. But I feel like it's a dramatic story, so you gotta give it that oomph. Makes things more fun. Oh, not broken this time. Very nice. These are normal. There's the door. Okay. That seems fine. This seems fine. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is correct. I think we're doing good. I feel pretty solid at this kind of game, at least. So, yeah. Oh. Amazing, amazing. That's not supposed to be red. 10 out of 10. Door is as normal as it could be for now. I do not trust it still. Floor 1, that's not normal. The whispering be here as well, which is not good. Those are fine. I think this one seems pretty good, except for the whispering. I don't love the whispering. It's making me feel like there's something left, but I know I'm like sure I got it all. Yeah. Okay. I don't like the like not trusting myself, you know, like after what felt like an eternity, I made it out of that labyrinth. Somehow, impossibly, I was back in my office again. Everything felt normal. My surroundings made sense. This was the reality I remembered. Not whatever nightmare that was. Oliver. Hello? I jumped back violently, immediately reaching for the comforting weight of my gun. She's pretty. When the shadowy creature made no effort to attack, I hesitated. Those penetrating crimson eyes, once dreadfully intimidating, seemed docile now. Its body, which was nearly naked and unmistakably feminine, hovered above ground with an unfathomable lightness, floating, weightless as a feather. This thing, she was beyond my comprehension. Baffled, I stared in the stunned silence, my brain struggling to make sense of it all. Don't be afraid. Her sultry, otherworldly voice was a soft, disarming whisper. I lowered my weapon, intrigued by the strange turn of events. This was not how I expected the end of my shift This is not how I expected the end of my shift to go. She reached out to me. Shadowy wisps circled around her slender fingers. It was a surprisingly intimate gesture. A trap, maybe. or perhaps an attempt to make a connection. My hand twitched, the rational part of my brain screaming at the sheer insanity of the idea. Everything about this creature defied logic, defied everything I thought I knew about the world. To touch her, it was like reaching into the unknown, a gamble with stakes I couldn't even begin to comprehend. She had every opportunity to kill me tonight, but she didn't. Was there a chance this being meant no harm? Damn. Slowly, hesitantly, I extended out my hand. My palm felt clammy, my fingers trembling. The fluorescent lights of my office seemed too dim, the sounds of the city outside fading to a distant hum. It was as if the world was holding its breath, waiting to see what would happen next. The gap between us closed, her fingers long and slender with nails like polished obsidian brushed against my skin. A jolt of electricity shot up my arm, but it wasn't painful. It was strange. Sensations flooded my mind, images and emotions that weren't my own. She carried a sense of ancientness, of vastness, power that dwarfed anything I had ever encountered. And beneath it all, a profound loneliness. You, the protector of the weak and the downtrodden, you help people, you save them. I've watched you. I see you. I swallowed deeply, struggling to find my voice.
You've been watching me. Why?
Watching you is fascinating. You intrigue me.
This is the same voice actor from Slay the Princess. I guarantee it.
You are different from the others.
Yep. You care. You help.
It is my job to help, yes. Is that why you watch me? Do you need my help too?
She didn't answer, but her pleading eyes said it all.
What are you, really? You don't seem like an abnormal. A monster would have killed me by now.
You seek the truth. I can tell you.
Yeah, same voice
But
actor.
it requires payment.
What kind of payment?
A kiss.
A soft sigh escaped her lips, her gaze searching mine with an intensity that made my heart race. The air between us was thick with unspoken words. A kiss in exchange for knowledge? I couldn't even imagine the secret she kept close to her chest. If there was a chance to know. I gave in, hesitantly giving her shadowy cheek a tentative kiss, a small peck.
Kiss me like you mean it.
Oh. I felt an invincible pull, a force drawing me closer to her, bridging the impossible gap between our worlds. Her fingers tightened around mine, the coldness of her touch sending another jolt through my arm. This time, it wasn't jarring, it was comforting, familiar even. Her face was inches from mine, her crimson eyes pools of ancient wisdom and vulnerability. Oh, I accidentally clicked OBS. Sorry. I could see the intricate patterns etched into her skin, swirling lines that seemed to shift and change with unnatural motion. My lips met hers with a tenderness that surprised me. Oh my goodness! What? Stop. Stop right now. It was a kiss unlike any other I had experienced, a merging of worlds, a collision of the tangible and the ethereal. Wow. Beautiful art, may I say. I deepened the kiss, my hand finding its way to the back of her head, my fingers threading through her silky hair. Her lips parted slightly, and I could feel her energy flowing into me, strengthening me, filling the void within my own soul. When we finally broke apart, gasping for breath, I felt irrevocably changed. The world around me seemed sharper, more vibrant, and imbued with a sense of magic I never thought possible. In her eyes, I saw not a monster, but a kindred spirit. She was a being of immense power and loneliness, reaching out for connection in a universe that had cast her adrift. Then, as abruptly as she had appeared, she was gone.
Bloody hell.
Damn. Damn, son. Oh, day 1, hiking trail. Summer! Coughing and sputtering, I collapsed onto the muddy bank, waterlogged and shivering. My clothes clung to me, heavy and cold, each movement sending a wave of icy discomfort through my body. I gasped for breath, my lungs burning from the shock and exertion. My heart hammered against my ribs, a frantic rhythm against the sudden stillness. Suddenly, I was surrounded by the others. Their faces swam into focus. Was that annoyance? Concern? It was hard to tell through the blur of my own panic. Candy was there, her brow furrowed, though on her, it looked more like a cartoon confusion than actual worry. Her usual bright energy shimmered just beneath the surface, barely contained. I do like her. A lot. Summer was assessing the damage to the collapsed bridge, shaking her head. Jake twirled his marker between his fingers, eyes locked on the crashing waves below. A crooked, unhinged grin tugged at his lips, like he wouldn't mind if the sea swallowed him whole. Andre leaned against a tree, arms crossed, expression unreadable. He looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. Are you okay? What happened?
No.
You guys left me, that's what happened. You mean you left us? We've reached a fork in the path, then we turned around and you were gone. We looked everywhere for you. Good thing we found you before you became fish food.
You're not from around here, are ya?
I hate to say it, but Jake's not wrong. First rule of hiking, stick to the marked trails. This bridge has been crumbling for years. Campers are strictly warned to avoid it, and staff, we should know better. Trying to cross was like begging for disaster. What were you thinking? I stumbled over my thoughts, scrambling for an excuse. What could I even say? That I bolted off the trail like a fool because of a shadow? That something was after me? They'd think I'd lost my mind. Sorry, I messed up. Big time. It won't happen again. Summer crossed her arms over her chest, unconvinced. It better not. No more bridges, no more being chased after by bums. From now on, you're sticking with a partner. A partner? That's right. Here at Camp Bear Ridge, we've got a buddy system. Newcomers get paired up for a few days to watch each other's backs, stick together, and stay out of trouble. Normally, it's for the 12-year-olds, but since you've got a talent for finding chaos, I'm making an exception. You've officially lost your solo privileges. I winced. A partner? Seriously? I don't need a partner. I just had some bad luck lately and...
Don't think so.
I'm doing this for your own good, Jenny. You'll thank me later. Your assigned buddy is... me. I blinked, stunned. Don't look so shocked. I know these woods better than anyone. I've been through every trail, every cave, every animal burrow in a 10-mile radius. I taught the survival course twice. Jake rolled his eyes. And she's very proud of it. Of course I am. You need someone who will make sure you won't get eaten by a bear or fall through another bridge. No offense, but none of you are qualified. So congratulations, Jenny. Until I deem you are adequately camp savvy, you're under my wing. Ooh, she's in the summer program now. Poor girl. Laugh all you want, but Jenny needs structure, and no one's better at structure than me. Before I could protest, Summer grabbed my wrist and tugged me forward. Then, with ceremonial flair, she clapped her hands firmly over mine. There, bonded, like a contract in blood, only less messy. I stared at her, unsure if I was supposed to be grateful or terrified. We'll start with the trail safety drills tomorrow at dawn. You've got a lot to learn. Try not to cry when she makes you eat tree bark. Only in emergencies. I give it 2 days before she snaps. I give it 1 before she thanks me. She said with that infuriating confidence of someone who'd never been wrong in her life. Summer's lips curled with quiet satisfaction. There, see? Teamwork. After some time, we reached a clearing in the trees. The sun blazed overhead, casting golden warmth across the open land. In the center stood the main cabin of Camp Bear Ridge. Rustic and sturdy, the wood-paneled exterior weathered by time. Wide fields of flat, open ground stretched endlessly beyond the massive structure. It seemed perfect for pitching tents and setting up campfire circles. The distant twitter of birds carried in the breeze, mingling with the ever-present hum of cicadas. They're loud. They're very loud. Despite the open land stretching far in every direction, something about it felt unsettling. I had expected the buzz of preparation, camp counselors arriving in groups, hauling gear, laughing, unpacking supplies, maybe arguing over tent spots. I imagined a dozen of voices overlapping, the chaos of people getting ready for something big. But there was none of that. No walkie-talkie chatter, no hurried footsteps, barely any parked cars. Just us, standing in a vast sunlit clearing that felt far too quiet for what was supposed to be a counselor training. It was like we'd shown up early to a party no one else knew about. Bear Ridge was the most popular summer camp in all of New Empress. The place should be teeming with activity this time of year, shouldn't it? Jake was the first to speak up.
Whoa.
Is it always this quiet?
Hey.
Yeah, where is everyone?
Oh.
I don't know. This is strange. For a brief second, Summer's confident facade falters. Her eyes scanned the clearing, narrowed and alert, like she was calculating something. Her posture stiffened, the corners of her mouth twitching downward. Uncertainty flickered across her face like a shadow, swift but noticeable. That brief crack in her armor said more than words ever could. Then, just as quickly, she straightened her shoulders and smoothed the tension from her face. Maybe everyone's running late. Let's check in with Ian. Summer led our advance to the main cabin. Candy tapped my shoulder. Where's Andre? I shrugged, my gaze sweeping over the campgrounds. There was no sign of him, anywhere. We stopped at the front door of the cabin. Summer reached in the knob and pulled. It didn't budge. Huh? She tried again, twisting harder than rattling it. Still locked. That's not right. Ian's always here early to greet everyone. He practically lives in this place. She backpedaled and scanned the front of the cabin. That's when I noticed it. Wait, there's something on the door. I stepped closer and peeled a wind-ruffled piece of paper from where it hung crookedly on the cabin door frame. The ink had bled slightly, like it had been written in a hurry. Candy peered over my shoulder at the letter.
Hey!
That's from Mr. Matthews. I know his handwriting like chicken scratch. Give me that. She snatched the letter from my hand and read it out loud.
Hey, Bear Ridge superstars. Got a family emergency that needs handling, but I'll be back before the kids arrive. Please use your tents for shelter instead of the cabins for now. Long story, plumbing issue. There's a cooler with food and drinks locked in the back shed. Keys are with Norman. Stick to the itinerary and I'll see you soon. Behave yourselves, Mr. Matthews.
Huh. Oh. Huh? Who's Norman? Looking for me? I yelped, spinning so fast I nearly tripped over my own feet. Candy shrieked, hiding behind me, clinging to my shoulders for protection. Even Summer flinched. I locked eyes with a lanky redhead wearing thick-rimmed glasses, his pale face splashed with freckles. Judging by the Camp Bear Ridge uniform and keys jingling on his waist, this must be the Mr. Matthews mentioned in the letter, Norman. Christ, Norman, you scared us. What the hell I tell you, or what I tell you about sneaking up on folks? I wasn't sneaking around. I've been here all morning. It's you guys who just showed up late. Summer raised her palm, silencing him.
Whatever.
Ian said you have the keys to the shed. Yeah. His trembling fingers fumbled with the shed key before he shoved it into Summer's outstretched hand. He couldn't meet her gaze, his eyes darting around as if searching for an escape. Even as a newcomer, it didn't take long to see Norman was a total pushover. I almost felt sorry for him. Norman's gaze flickered to me, Jake, and Candy. You guys must be the new counselors. Welcome to Camp Bear Ridge.
Welcome to Camp Bear Ridge.
He sounds very excited.
Yay!
I wish Mr. Matthews was here to greet you guys, but you read the note, right? Norman sighed deeply, his brown eyes dark, troubled. He was acting weird before he left, like something was really wrong.
I'm really worried about Mr. Matthews.
Jake, Candy, and I exchanged worried glances. Summer flipped her hair over her shoulder, a smug grin plastered on her face. Obsessed much? Norman's cheeks flushed a vivid red. Obsessed? No, just worried. Ian's fine. You're overreacting like usual. He'll be back before we know it, and everything will be smooth sailing once again. We'll do our jobs, take care of the kids, and get paid, just like every summer. So, take a breath, Norman. Do your little job, and try not to spiral, okay? He nodded obediently.
Sorry.
Okay, Summer. That sounds fine and dandy, but where is everyone? Shouldn't more counselors be here for training? Norman hesitated, glanced towards the narrow hiking trail, snaking through the dense forest. Dappled with golden sunlight and lined with ferns. Some of the others are arriving late. Ian told me to expect a second group this afternoon. I'll go wait for them. Someone has to make sure they don't wander off into the woods like Jenny here did. Norman perked up immediately, shaking his head a little too fast. No, I've got it. I'll go. You've got enough on your plate, Summer. It's the least I can do. Summer raised an eyebrow. You sure? I don't mind. Positive, I insist. He gave her a hopeful smile, the kind that screamed pick-me energy without saying a word. Oh boy. I'll let them know where to go. Give them the grand tour. You should, rest. You deserve it, Summer. No one fought him on it. Summer shrugged and waved him off, already losing interest.
Whatever.
Suit yourself. Without another word, Norman turned and started down the trail, shoulders hunched like he was bracing for something. I watched him disappear around the bend, and a weird unease settling in my stomach. I didn't know the guy, but the way he walked off alone like that, it felt wrong. Summer clapped her hands twice, sharp and authoritative. All right, listen up. The sun is going down soon, and unless you want to spend the night being feasted on by mosquitoes, I suggest you pick a spot and start setting up your tents. She stepped forward, eyes scanning the tree-lined clearing with a natural authority, like the forest itself had elected her in charge. Try to spread out a bit. Plenty of space, no need to be on top of each other, and keep your gear close. I don't want to hear anyone crying about their stuff getting soaked, or in dew, or getting dragged off by some curious critter. No one argued. We scattered, quietly sizing up the open land around us. The forest was still, the shadows growing longer. I had to get the tent set up fast. I chose a flat patch of ground, a little ways from the others, where the grass had been pressed down by time or traffic, I couldn't tell. It looked good enough. Unzipping the tent bag felt like a puzzle in itself. I'd practiced once in my backyard, but now that the pressure was on, I nearly forgot the entire process. I laid everything out in a neat line, from what little I remembered from that old camping manual, stakes, poles, the crinkly fabric that somehow became a tent. So far, so good. Then came the poles. They immediately tried to tangle themselves. I wrestled them apart, tried connecting the segments like I remembered, and managed to snap onto one into place with a satisfying click. I glanced around. Candy was already halfway through setting hers up, with a smug little smirk. Jake hadn't even started yet, and Andre looked like he was about to build a cabin out of spite. I turned back to my mess. The tent fabric flopped like a dead fish, and one of the poles was trying to stab me in the shin. I took a deep breath, crouched down, and tried again. Slower this time. Stake by stake, pole by pole. One weird little clip at a time. Huh. Oh, cool. Oh. Build tent. Okay. Fun fact, getting killed by wildlife is one of the rarest ways to die while camping in a national park. Very cool. I think it said you're more likely to get killed by people, and that is true from all the true crime I've unfortunately consumed. Everything, it stood sort of. Eventually it stood sort of. The tent leaned a little to the left and sagged in the middle like it was just tired just being alive. But it was up, technically. Should I spruce this place up a bit or keep it natural? Ah, so cute! Green and earthy or pretty and pink? Damn. I love pink. But I'll do pretty and pink when I romance Candy. So, green. Find your sanctuary in this lush, vibrant tent. Adorned with cascading hanging plants and intertwining vines, it brings us the serene beauty of nature indoors. I love it. So cute! Green feels relaxing. I'm one with nature. And green represents the heart chakra. I made up my bed and fluffed my spare hoodie into a makeshift pillow. The fairy lights cast a soft glow overhead, making the nylon walls shimmer like moonlight on a quiet lake. I laid back on my bed, legs crossed at the ankles, the smell of grass, fabric, and distant campfire smoke settling around me. For the first time all day, I felt good. Not perfect, but good. I pulled out my songbook, its corners bent and cover scribbled on, and flipped to a blank page. My pen hovered, then landed. The words arrived slowly, carefully, and unsure, as if they weren't quite ready to be seen. I used to tremble at the break of dawn, shadows danced until the courage was gone. I tapped the page, mouth pursed, hummed a little melody, scribbled a G chord. The tent may have been crooked, but in that moment, it felt like my own tiny studio. I could hear the guitar in my head already, low and steady, humming under the lyrics. Outside, the evening wind rustled through the trees. Inside, I kept writing. Then came the footsteps. Soft at first, crunching lightly through the grass outside. I froze, pen hovering above the page. Someone was close. A shadow moved across the thin nylon wall. Before I could call out, the flap opened. Summer slipped inside without warning. No knock, no announcement. She strolled inside like she owned the place, hair still perfect, like the humidity had signed a peace treaty with her. Ugh, it's like a sauna out there. Summer spotted the songbook in my hands. She snatched it, shamelessly scoring the pages. Hey! I lunged for my book, but Summer held it just out of reach. Relax. This is your songbook, right? Don't worry, I'm just taking a small peep. I bet you have plenty of campfire songs prepared, right? For the campers? I swallowed nervously. My stomach nodded as Summer flipped through the pages. Bloom. This the latest song you've been working on? Yeah, it's not done yet. I like the lyrics so far. Powerful. How about you strum a tune and we perform it together? My vocals, your guitar, you up for it? My stomach churned with nausea. Play my guitar in front of Summer? She laughed, the nervousness written across my face impossible to miss. Come on, Jenny, it's just me. There's nothing to be shy about. You gotta stop being such a wallflower and live a little. Summer handed me my guitar. With shaky fingers, I positioned my guitar in my lap, the familiar weight somewhat comforting. I considered chickening out, but the thought of disappointing Summer gnawed at me. I couldn't let her down. I could do this. I exhaled deeply, closed my eyes, and let my fingers strum across the strings. At this point, it was all muscle memory.
Darkness trembled at the break of dawn. Shadows crept until all courage was gone. But the sun whispers secrets to the sky. Don't fear falling, you're born to rise.
I brought our song to a soft close, lingering on the final chord. That was very pretty. You played that guitar like you were born for it.
Good.
I'm impressed. I froze for a beat, then a goofy grin pulled at my lips before I could stop it. Praise wasn't something I heard often, especially from someone like Summer. Really? Really. I can't wait to hear you at the campfire. The kids are gonna love you.
Thank you.
Summer handed back my songbook and made herself at home in my tent. She dropped on the floor of my bed, like she owned it, kicking off her shoes and leaning back on her elbows. She eyed the string lights I hung up earlier. It's real nice in here. Cozy. I wasn't expecting a person like you to be capable of building anything like this. You're kind of a mess. My high came crashing down instantly. I didn't know whether to thank her or be offended. Summer had that effect on people, like you just been complimented and insulted at the same breath, and she expected you to say thanks either way. Cheeks warming, I closed my songbook and slipped it under my pillow, out of her line of sight. Summer snorted at that. You know, you almost gave me a heart attack earlier when we found you on that bridge. I still don't get why you were thinking of crossing a bridge like that. She shook her head and laughed. I'm honestly a tad bit worried for the kids under your charge, because you, hun, are a walking disaster. She was agonizing on me now. No sugarcoating, no sweet smiles, just throwing salt on the wound like she wanted to see me squirm. And the worst part, it reminded me of high school again, the days I kept my head down and counted the seconds until the bell rang. I could still hear the sharp giggles, feel the eyes on my back, the way every step felt like walking on a tightrope over mockery. What do you want, Summer? Why are you really here? Honestly, I'm bored. Candy's spouting about her spiritual alignment to Andre. Jake's drawing on himself like a freak, and Norman still isn't back yet. I figured I'd see what the quiet girl was up to. We're buddies, aren't we? Partners. I'm supposed to watch after you like a newborn lamb. Summer's words threw me off. I couldn't tell if she was mocking me again, or if, buried somewhere beneath all that attitude, she actually cared about me. I mustered my courage, lifted my chin, and met Summer's gaze boldly. That was it. I had enough of the mind games and snide remarks. Call her out. Huh. I don't want to make her upset, but I guess I'll call her out. If this is your idea of looking after me, you're doing a horrible job. Summer's brows shut up. For someone who's used to running the show, she looked genuinely stunned, like it hadn't occurred to her that anyone might push back, especially someone like me. The tent felt different then, uncomfortable, like the ground had shifted just an inch under her feet. Excuse me? You make these comments, the digs, the little smirks. You act like it's all just innocent teasing, but it's not. It's constant. Summer's eye twitched. It was barely noticeable, but enough to betray her. The first flicker of discomfort from someone who always looked untouchable. I left home to get away from this exact kind of thing, from people like you. I was bullied in high school relentlessly. Every time you laugh at me or twist my words or try to make me feel small, it feels like I never left. The tent went quiet. I hadn't meant to say that much, but once the words started, they tumbled out. And the way you treat Norman. Summer raised her palm, cutting me off.
Don't think so.
Nuh-uh. Let me stop you right there. What's this about? Norman? Really? She scoffed, flipping her perfect hair over her shoulders. There's a reason why I treat Norman how I do, and you're here yapping your jaw like you've got the full picture. Newsflash, you don't. There's history here, more than you've seen, and talking like you got it all figured out just makes you look like a fool. I was almost afraid to ask about the real picture, but I did anyway. What happened between you and Norman? Summer sucked her teeth. The sound was sharp, annoyed, whatever it was between her and Norman. She wasn't ready to spill it, not yet. Her walls were up, and I could tell pressing further wouldn't get me any answers. Not tonight. I don't want to talk about it. Doesn't matter. But you know what does? You comparing me to some high school bully. That isn't me. That isn't me at all. Could have fooled me. I gasped. That did it. Summer straightened, arms crossed over her chest. I tried my best not to crumble under the heat of her glare. You think you've got me all figured out, don't you? I know how you make people feel, and maybe that's enough.
Whatever.
Oh, please, grow a backbone. Don't talk to me like that. The words cracked out louder than I meant. My voice wavered, but I didn't back down. My eyes burned hot with tears. I couldn't blink away fast enough. You act like you're above everyone, Like we're just pieces in your little game. Well, I'm done playing. Summer rolled her eyes, but I caught the twitch in her jaw, the way her foot tapped against the tent floor. I came here hoping for a fresh start, and you're just reminding me of everything I was trying to escape. The tears fell now, unstoppable. My throat was tight, words barely getting out. I couldn't be here, not one more second. Damn. Sorry guys, I didn't mean for this reaction. I just wanted to challenge her, because sometimes that's good, but we are supposed to be teenagers, so the emotion does make sense. I shoved past her, throwing open the tent flap. The cool night air outside hit my face like a slap, but I welcomed it. I didn't get far. Jenny, wait. She chased after me, grabbing my arm with more gentleness than I expected. I turned to face her, tears still falling, chest heaving. Summer looked shaken. Her gaze flattered, fixed somewhere near my boots. She opened her mouth, then closed it again, jaw tight like she was holding something back. Her other hand twitched at her side, like they wanted to reach out for me but couldn't quite make the leap. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. God, I didn't mean for it to go like that. She reached up and wiped the tears from my face with her thumb, her touch surprisingly tender. Jenny, please don't cry. Not because of me. She guided me behind a tree away from the prying eyes of her coworkers. I didn't stop her. Her hand remained clasped around my arm, steady and warm, supportive. There was something softer about her now, something I hadn't seen before, as if all of her sharp edges had dulled just for me. I stood there, frozen, heart pounding, when she leaned in to whisper reassurances in my ear. I'm not your enemy. And this isn't high school anymore. Anyone bothers you, I'll kick their teeth in. And I'll get my act together. Promise. No more hot and cold. Her words, rough-edged but sincere, settled over me like a warm quilt on a cold night. The sting in my chest began to fade, the tears in my eyes drying before I even noticed. Tucked away beneath the hush of the moonlit woods, Summer gently cupped my jaw. Her eyes locked onto mine, steady and certain. There was no hesitation, no plea. Summer knew that what she wanted and intended to take it, unapologetically. Hell yeah!
You're mine now.
So cute. I'm in love. And so are they. Rightfully so. The moment her soft lips touched mine, my knees went weak. She took the lead without hesitation, like this was something she'd planned all along. Her mouth brushed mine with a kind of practiced ease that left me breathless. Every moment or movement was deliberate, assured. I didn't have to think, didn't have to wonder. I just followed her lead, melting into the kiss. It was unlike anything I'd ever experienced. Of course. Then, a scream tore through the woods. Sharp, shrill, and unmistakably human. We both froze. It wasn't fair, or wasn't far. Sounded like Norman? Day 2, Oliver's apartment. He's thinking about that woman. New Empress City was a chaotic symphony of noise outside my window. It was nearly midnight, yet the sirens continued to wail, emergency vehicles rushing through the streets endlessly. Flickers of neon flashed at the windows. My ceiling was a mess of shifting lights, red and gold flickering in the corners of my blurred vision. The city was being swallowed whole by crime, and I could do nothing but lay here in a bed and seethe. My shirt half unbuttoned, and tie hanging loosely around my neck. I cradled my glass of scotch to my chest It was warm from neglect, the ice slowly withering away. My gaze occasionally drifted to the open files on my desk. Pages fanned out haphazardly, as if they were waiting for me to admit my failure. The Bear Ridge Ripper's case. It was a puzzle with too many missing pieces. The trail was going cold. I should be going over them, playing the tapes again and again, reading the witness statements until something finally gives. But I do not move. I raised my drink to my lips. It stung as it went down. I wished it burned hotter. I wished the alcohol scorched a fire so potent in my soul that it gave me the purpose, the incorruptible zeal to carry on. Incorruptible zeal to carry on. It never did. I often wondered if it was worth indulging in such a poison. Perhaps it was better to stew in my inadequacy than let the wound fester, to feel the brunt of my suffering until the ache dulled naturally. Surely that was a possibility, wasn't it? There was no detective in me tonight. No dissecting another scream. No decoding ulterior motives or cryptic lies. Oh yeah. I heard her at the edge of my consciousness. Her voice, a longing whisper curling into my ear, soft as smoke and just as suffocating. The haunting symphony dragged across my thoughts like fingernails on old wood. Her foreboding presence had followed me outside the office into my home. I didn't fight it. I let her settle into the hollow between my ribs. It was insanity, really, the way I didn't take off running and screaming whenever she called out to me. The glass in my hand tilted slightly, liquor, amber, swaying. I brought the drink to my lips again. The scotch burned, but not enough to drown her out. Not enough to wash away the blackness the ISWA had stained on my heart. A knock at the door. 3 short taps. I kept still. More knocking. I considered ignoring it, letting it go. Whoever it was would get the hint. No one should be knocking at this hour. Not unless they wanted something. Blood, answers, or worse, both. I set the glass down on the nightstand, the sound of it meeting wood far too loud in the quiet. I knew it!
Rookie.
Our lover. Our real lover. The mere sight of his ridiculous, arrogant smile at this hour drew a curse from my lips.
Bloody hell.
What was this fool doing here? I had enough problems already. I wasn't in the mood to add to the cleaner to the list. I brought drinks. Polite, let in. I already have drinks. Great, now you have more. He invited himself inside, stepping past my rigid form. Intrigued and exasperated, I allowed him to stay. For now. Sorry to disturb your sleep, or private drinking session, or whatever it is you do at this hour, but I have news. The boss man, the old bald guy with a bad habit of popping up when you least expect it, like a jump scare, thinks we make a good team. I've been assigned as your partner, permanently. Well, until one of us dies horribly, I mean. You're good at your job, I'm good at my job. It's a perfect match. I scoffed. His annoyingly perfect smile managed to chip away at my defenses. Slightly. A perfect match? I doubt it. Not sure if you noticed or not, but the abnormal problem, it's getting worse by the day. They're multiplying. For every one we annihilate, countless others seem to emerge. The boss is getting desperate. He thinks if we work together, if I show you the ropes, humanity might have a chance. It's not every day we get a detective of your caliber joining our ranks. I believe in us, Ollie. Seriously. His uncomfortable comment didn't phase me. I simply moved past him toward my evidence board. The old man. You can see him too? Of course I see him. He's our boss. Also, want to tell me why you have his handsome mug pinned on the murder board?
What?
I pivoted, staring at him incredulously? Yep. Because he has the ability to traverse time and space, perhaps? The old geezer jumped out of an instructional CD from the 1960s. Somehow, he was at my desk. He was speaking to me, engaging with me, with us. Either we're both out of our bloody minds, or...
Yeah, no.
We aren't crazy. He said with such a firm conviction that I almost believed him. Listen, rookie. Life with the ISWA alters you. I don't know how or why, but once you're in this line of work, you start seeing things normal people can't. Once you're exposed to abnormals, there's no going back. I sighed heavily. Of course I'd work a job that drives me insane. Just my luck.
How about them apples,
Oh, cupcakes. Without asking, he swept up one of my red velvet cupcakes from the coffee table and devoured it all in one bite, like a rabid animal. Unholy hell, that's one good-ass cupcake. Did you make this?
Yes.
I bake in my free time. Not that it's any of your business. It's my business now, rookie. We're partners. I gotta know every last thing about you, from the mundane to your deepest, darkest fears. Like your favorite socks, for example, or existential dread of being the last person left in the desolate, post-apocalyptic void of nothingness. He chuckled awkwardly. Oops, sorry. I was self-projecting a bit there, but you get the point. He licked the cupcake liner shamelessly, eating every last crumb. I shook my head, eyeing the glistening sword strapped to his back, deadly sharp, the edge stained with blood. His muscled arms bore the marks of a warrior, faded scars hinting at a history of conflict and resilience. There was a delicate balance in him, poised between sophisticated madness and barbarity. I didn't know what to make of this cleaner. I wasn't particularly a fan of his company, but I didn't have the willpower to kick him out. Yet. Besides, I had questions. He quite possibly had the answers.
Oliver.
Her voice tickled at my consciousness. Relentless, persistent. I popped open a cheap beer, more alcohol to take the edge off. The cleaner collapsed onto the couch as if he owned the place, kicking his feet up on the table. I nudged his ankle, pushing his feet off my furniture. He made a face at me. I rolled my eyes, then joined him on the couch. I assume you have a name. Kai. Yeah, we haven't heard his name yet. Kai Golden Apple.
Kai.
I stared at him blankly. Golden Apple? How ridiculous. Rude. Questioning, ask about Peeker, ask about Kai. Yeah. What? Suspicious. Ask about Peeker? The abnormal that inflicted our facility today. Or infiltrated. You mean Ebony Red Eye?
What?
Yeah, the shadowy thing with the one eye and the, he gestured at his face as if there were hair in his eyes. You know what I mean. Anyways, it's always hanging out at the station, just watching people. Creeping around corners. You know, the whole ghost thing. I wouldn't call it infiltration at this point. Ebony Red Eye practically lives there. I thought about killing it once or twice, but what would the ISWA be without its favorite abnormal mascot? Sure, it brutally murders some of the staff occasionally. I say it's a good thing. Helps weed the weaklings. Okay.
Bloody hell.
That's softly morbid. I think Peeker seems A more fitting name than Ebony Red-Eye. Morbid. That's a bit harsh. You just offended all the Ebony Red-Eyes to ever exist. Alright, Kai Golden Apple. Before we go any further, I must ask, how on earth do you know where I live? You know, the ISWA has extensive files and records on all of its employees, right? It wasn't hard to pull yours up. The room was spun. Whether it was from the alcohol or Kai's casual admission of violating privacy laws, I wasn't sure.
Ollie?
Hell, Ollie. You're as pale as a ghost. Drink. He tapped the beer in my hand. I drained the bottle. My stomach turned for a moment, then settled. I fought the urge to lash out. My muscles twitched with suppressed violence. Are you insane? Combing through confidential files of people you know. Is that normal behavior for you? Should I be concerned? He had the grace to look sheepish, at least.
Ooh, awkward.
Is that a hypothetical question, or are you expecting an answer?
Kai.
You could have just asked me, damn you. You had no right to go snooping. Kai's jaw tightened.
Rookie.
Chill out. Careful. Don't want to pop a vein looking that furious, do we? My grip on the bottle tightened. The look I shot him was lethal.
Bloody hell.
Keep antagonizing me. See where it gets you. The room went silent. Tension oozed between us, thick and unrelenting. In that moment, I didn't give a shite whether he was a cleaner, a professional monster slayer, or whatever else the bastard claimed to be. Eventually, Kai cracked beneath the heat of my glare. His hand shot up in surrender. He was in the wrong, and he knew it. All right. Relax, Ollie. You've got the face of a man who hasn't pooped in days. He imitated the face, puffing out his cheeks. Fine, I screwed up. I shouldn't have snooped through your precious little files. Happy? Suddenly, bone-weary and exhausted, I sighed heavily and looked away, sinking further into the couch cushions. I had a feeling that was the best apology I was going to get from a man like Kai. Do not do it again. Understood? He grumbled something under his breath. It sounded close enough to acknowledgement. And stop calling me that. My name is not Ollie. That made his mouth curve slightly. Oliver has too many syllables. Ollie, though, perfect. My nose wrinkled. Christ. The moment of silence that followed was a bit uncomfortable, but not nearly as fraught with tension as before. I caught sight of the subtle scar above Kai's eyebrow, a tiny line I hadn't noticed until now. He cleared his throat, his features softening for a moment with an unexpected vulnerability. Listen, I usually work alone, all right? No friends, no attachments, no weaknesses. So when the boss aligned us as partners, I might have had a panic attack. Or two. I clicked OBS again. I'll be honest. When I fell into the sewers with the Clog Father, I thought for sure I was a dead man. Thought I'd finally met my match. But you. He averted his gaze, shifted uncomfortably on the couch. You kept me alive. Somehow, you were smart, efficient, a quick thinker, better than any operator I've ever worked with, and it was only your first day. And damn it, I was curious. I wanted to know more about you. I had to know, so I... You pulled up on my files. He swallowed hard.
Sorry.
Right, curiosity killed the cat. I went silent for a moment, mulling over his confession. A strange warmth bloomed in my chest, entirely unexpected. Flattered wasn't a strong enough word. To hear the notoriously solitary and arrogant Kai admit to panic attacks over a partnership, to being saved, to being curious about me, it was disarming. His praise, delivered with such obvious discomfort, felt more genuine than any compliment I'd ever received. It was a crack in his carefully constructed facade, and, begrudgingly, I found myself wanting to see what lay beneath. Kai jumped to his feet, nearly knocking one of the cupcakes off the table.
Rookie.
Let's settle this like men, Ollie. Punch me in the face. I blinked, startled by the strange request. That's how he planned to make things right between us? A hit to the face, and then what? All water under the bridge?
What?
No, I'm not going to punch you. Just do it. Get it over with. It'll make us both feel better.
Kai.
I said no. Don't be ridiculous. He visibly cringed, his face red, flustered. He inched closer, towered over me on the couch, his voice lowered and intimately.
You like me.
Is there something else you want to do to my face instead? The smoldering intensity of his dark gaze burned a hole straight through me. My breath caught on the surge of a yearning so abrupt it felt like pain. The violent response was fueled by my lingering frustration with the Bear Ridge Ripper case, and my fresh annoyance with Kai himself. I needed a release, a moment of selfish indulgence, and it seemed he did too. Oh my gosh! Kai lunged at me, speared his fingers through my hair, and kissed me deeply. I saw it coming, yet I didn't pull away. His scent, his touch, the chilled brush of his leather attire against my skin, it was all so unfamiliar, foreign. I allowed him the lead, allowed him to bruise my lips with the fine edge of violence. I distantly registered the bottle slipping from my hand, the shatter of glass on the floor. I clung to his chest, back arched as his tongue pushed inside, exploring my mouth with reckless abandon. Oh boy. The erotic moment was every bit as raw as it was unapologetic. I shuddered when my phone rang. The sharp sound jolted me back to reality. Amazing. I ripped away from him, breathless, panting, my chest heaving. It took me a moment to gather my bearings, to remember who exactly the sword-wielding man across from me was. Kai. My coworker, flushed and disheveled, the fly of his pants strained against one hell of an erection. Okay, I might be, beeping myself out for a couple words in blurring, just for the sake of YouTube.
Bloody hell.
I only could imagine what kind of mess I looked like. I withdrew my step, turned to the nearest mirror to regain some sense of decency.
Ollie?
Hey, let me help.
No.
I held up a palm before he drew too close. He grimaced, reluctantly respecting my silent demand for space. The constant vibrate in my pocket gnawed at what little sanity I had left. My phone rang again and again. I considered rejecting the call, but whoever was on the line was bloody persistent. With a heavy sigh, I answered. Hello?
God, Oliver, I've been ringing you all day.
I grimaced. My grip on the phone tightened. Why? What's happened? Oh.
It's your daughter, Charlotte.
Oh no! Heck yeah! Thank you for playing as two indie developers. Every expense, from software licenses to art assets, comes directly out of our own pockets. Your support is crucial to bring the full game of Bad Summer to life. Support us on Kickstarter. Next. This is adorable. This is sick. This is so cool. I highly support it and am already invested and obsessed. So yeah. This is good. This is really good. Yeah. So good. I can't wait to play the full game. I really can't. Aw. This is amazing. I really love it. And I love the writing a lot. I really love the writing. I'd probably love it even more if I could read. That would make it so much better, right? JK it is. That's cute. Yeah. No, I really like this. I'm so excited. I can't wait for the full one to come out. I will definitely be right on it. I will probably be donating a bit too, just because I love indie games and they put their heart and souls into this. I can tell. It is beautiful. It is funny. It is hot, which I was not expecting. I do not play games that are spicy like this, so yeah, that had me taken aback a little bit, but I support, and I was right with the ships from the start. I knew it. What can I say? I am starving, so I'm gonna make this outro quick. Definitely follow and support them and play the game for yourself. It's awesome. I love it. It's just the detail and care. I can't get over it. I really can't. And the romance and just the characters, like, I love me a story that has characters that acknowledges their own faults and make up for it, you know what I mean? And Jenny and Summer are such a hard ship. I definitely am excited for Candy's character, but I think Summer might actually be my new favorite. So I will go down all of their routes, however. I'm just really curious for every ounce of content this game has, and I hope that you guys are too. So yeah, totally comment down your thoughts in the comments below. That is one way that you could support me. You know, I enjoy responding to you guys, and really your comments and everything make my week. So you can also like this video if you enjoyed. I hope you do if you made it all the way to the end. You can, like I already said, comment, but let me know what other games you want me to play, especially with the Steam summer sale going on right now. I have a TikTok and an Instagram where I post more of my art. I'm working on a Patreon and a Depop to sell my stickers and also post unedited content. So if you'd like to see my content the minute I finish recording and you want to be the ones to choose my next gameplays, totally subscribe to my Patreon. I'll leave it in the description. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night wherever you are. Don't forget to drink water, and bye-bye.